just talking about what a fantastic weekend it's been. And you have to say, as far as the title race is concerned, Liverpool dropped points, Arsenal dropped points, Manchester City dropped points, and they're looking pretty adrift now for Manchester City. We're still obviously keeping an eye on them. Nottingham Forest might need to keep a little eye on, but the big winners are Chelsea. They go up into second place. They're only 2 points. I know Liverpool got a game in hand, but they're only 2 points behind them. They've put themselves in a really, really serious position because we've talked about them, but we haven't gone, well, maybe they'll drop off, maybe they'll... Not now. No,
I mean, the start of the season, when you did your predictions, I had them in the top 4 because I thought because of the players they had and the way they ended last season. But I think Maresca was the big question mark because we weren't sure how good he was managing a club of that level. But they've been outstanding. I mean, the biggest compliment you'd have to say for Maresca, he's managed to keep all them players happy. They're flying in the league, flying in Europe. I know a lot of the sides they've beaten, you'd probably expect them to beat, but they're in the title race for sure. Only 2 points behind Liverpool. You have to say that. You can't say they're not.
But they wasn't beating those teams last year. So, you know what I mean? Like, to make the point of what you're saying, like, I think under Poch, he laid down the foundations under Pochettino. But I think what Enzo Maresca's doing, they're all downplaying the fact they're in a title race, but they 100%, they are in a title race. I think Caicedo finally has come alive, along with Fernandes in those positions. And I think, you know, the team selection, he's been able to tinker with it in Europe. The Sassi's played in there. Toten's gone in there as well. So I think, and Jackson is scoring goals, which he wasn't doing last year. So I think, and Cole Palmer, I mean, their list could go on. A lot of players are in a good run of form, and I think 100% Chelsea are in this title race for sure.
I think that's the point, isn't it? It's not the teams that they've beaten, as you've said. It's the performances that they've put in those games. And yes, largely, maybe Villa apart, it's teams that they should be putting those performances in. But they're delivering. Yeah,
Cole Palmer is I think he's the 3rd highest scorer in the Premier League at the moment with 11 goals. Nicholas Jackson's now on 9 so far this season. They're the only team in the top 4 with 2 players in that top sort of 5 or 6, well, I'd say 10 actually, in terms of scoring goals. But if you look at the Southampton game where they were 5-1 winners, there were 5 different scorers in that game. So they're sharing the burden of the goals around. We saw a caption a few seconds ago of their recent run of wins, and the only one where there was a clean sheet was Aston Villa. And I think if there is something that could undo them, it's the fact that they concede goals. Even late in this game, they conceded against Brentford. And
even the Tottenham game, they were in control of it. It was much nervier than it needed to be at their very end.
And titles are won on defence. I know we're talking about all the goals that they're scoring.
Not according to us, as centre forwards.
Do you know, you said that, Daz, and it's really interesting, and you're right. I think if they can keep Levi Colwill and Fofana fit, I think that's their best centre-half pairing. I'm also not sure about the goalkeeper.
That was my next question.
If they can go out and get a top quality, say they go and get Kelleher from Liverpool, or they get another top quality goalkeeper, then people who are kind of on the fence now, you would have to say they are one of the title favourites.
There's another key thing as well. You mentioned tinkering with the European side. He can field an entirely different 11. We laughed at the number of players that were at Chelsea at the start of the season. I laughed, but we kind of said, how is he going to do it? He sends an entirely different 11 to Kazakhstan in midweek, and then he plays the Premier League side at the weekend.
But asked for a later kick-off because they were affected by the long travel, even though it wasn't the same.
And even Brentford are looking at it going, how did you pull that one off? You know, but you see, the great thing for him and Chelsea is that they're in a great position now to put that pressure on Liverpool. And I think he's almost like a younger version of Ranieri, where he jokes and he laughs and whatever else, but he knows exactly what he's doing, exactly what the target is now, because it's not top 4 anymore. It's got to be the title now that you are in that position. Where Arsenal, I think, might have the advantage is that they've got the experience of being in a title race. They've got the better defence, in my opinion. They've certainly got the better goalkeeper. But I think where Chelsea are concerned is that they've got that abandon. There's zero pressure on them. I think that they've got more points of attack, and I think they've got less pressure.
That might be the issue, as you said there with Arsenal, is that yes, they've got, I mean, we know how good Saka is. Havertz is having a good season, of course, but when you look at Chelsea, the amount of goals they've got from everywhere, I mean, it's a really poor indictment, to be fair, on 10R, because look what Jadon Sancho's doing now under Maresca. He looks like somebody who just looked like the player we saw at Dortmund before he got to Manchester
Only been
United.
a couple of games.
But still.
It's a little bit one for Man United.
That's why I'm not getting carried away.
But that's the thing, though. That's 2 more than we ever saw at Manchester United already.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? That's 2 more than we ever saw at Manchester United. But the confidence, the goal against Tottenham, Madueke now all of a sudden, we knew the potential was there when he was at PSV. All of a sudden, now he's come to the forefront. And I look at what they're doing. And Cole Palmer, yes, is the kind of the jewel in the crown. But that midfield three as well of Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo Fernandez, that's going to take some beating, that, because they're all strong, they're all powerful, and they can all play.
There's also that question of momentum, because it's not just the good performances, it's the improvement. It's that continued upward trajectory.
Yeah.
If I had my own team here,
go with it.
Just dipped in the pot this morning and took out anyone's. But when you look at the improvement in their performances, the improvement in the individual players, everything's going in the right direction for them.
And I don't think people realise, because at Leicester, I think Enzo Maresca came under a lot of criticism due to his they said he was quite flat in his style of play and his approach. But what I'm seeing him doing, he's able to adjust to a certain degree. And you can see in his post-match interview as well, he was not happy with the goal they conceded. He was kind of wrapped up in it. And you can see that's like an elite mentality. But I think he's doing a really good job in a short space of time, because people didn't expect... I expected Chelsea to be in the top 4 because of the squad that they have. But I do think they're doing a really good job. But it's still like teams keep dropping points, like Liverpool, Arsenal. And you say about Arsenal know what it's like to be in a title race, but they seem to always fall off when it really matters. And it's certainly like Odegaard being back for Arsenal. We'll talk about them later, but like is a different level. I think that's the difference between winning the league and losing the league. But I do think this Chelsea team are right up there if they can keep everybody fit. Let me ask you this then.
So if no Odegaard, and they obviously struggle 4 games without a win, I think they lost all 4 of those games. If you were to take Palmer out of the Chelsea side, do you think it would have a similar impact?
Not as bad.
I still think it would, though.
No,
Maybe not
do you know
as bad.
why? Because there's more, again, Neto can score a goal, Sancho can score a goal, Jackson's playing really well, Noni Madueke can score goals. So there's 4 there. With the Arsenal effect, Saka will score goals, but then Havertz, maybe not. There's nothing really come from Arsenal's left-hand side in Martinelli and Trossard. Moreno can get a goal, so we're almost now trying to find someone who can get goals where I've just given you 4 Chelsea players off the cuff.
I think that is their great strength. And you're talking about the improvement in the players. The reason why those players are able to improve is because they're guaranteed to play every week. Because what he does with the other squad is play them in Europe. So there's none of the schisms that you would have over where you've got too many players. He might be in my position. Sometimes he even plays Caicedo at right back, so that he can accommodate the other two. Enzo is scoring goals now. He's looking like a player who's not worried about his place, and he's playing with much more confidence. And I think those specifics of the reasons how and why he's improving those players is what's making Chelsea strong again. I still worry about that defence. That's just the key thing.
Hi guys, welcome to the Real Chelsea Enthusiasts. And as usual, we'll talk about everything Chelsea. Sorry, this is coming late. I'll be talking about yesterday's match against Brentford. In the video before the match, which you'll get to see in this video also, I spoke about how I felt we were going to win the match comfortably if we did the right things. We score goals for fun right now. Brentford also score goals for fun right now. Presently, Brentford have 32 goals so far this season. We have 37, the most in the league. So there was never a doubt about our scoring ability. So I knew we were going to score. And also because against Wolves, West Ham, Tottenham, Brighton, we got a favourable result. And I felt Brentford also fits into that mode when we talk about teams that are problematic for Chelsea. So for that reason, I just knew that we were going to win the game. And even though I said I expected us to keep a clean sheet, we did what we usually do after scoring goals. And a match that was relatively easy became a little bit problematic towards the end. And but then we saw out the game perfectly. What I liked about the match so much was the intensity from the beginning to the end, and that is one thing I've really loved about Chelsea so far. And I think in terms of intensity, this game is probably one of the ones up there when it comes to intensity, because from the beginning till the end, we kept on playing at a very, very, very high level, at a very high tempo. We recovered ball almost immediately after losing them. Yes, and that is the way to beat Brentford. You dare not take your foot off the pedal. If you slow down a bit, they punish you. You know, and you could see that in the goal that we conceded. Caicedo was a little bit slow after getting the ball from that throw-in, and one pass, Mbomo was free, got the opportunity, scored the goal, and that is how Brentford has always been. One touch, two touches, three touches, they are in your box, and it is a goal. So I like the fact that we kept the tempo very, very, very high all through. We were like pests whenever we lost the ball. We didn't allow them put one or two passes together. No. It was us all through. I like the tempo of the game. I like the intensity. And if we continue this way, honestly, we are going to win so many games this season. It's already looking like it's going to be difficult for any team to beat us. Whether it is Man City, whether it is Arsenal, whether it is Liverpool, it is going to be very, very difficult for any team to beat us. As a matter of fact, teams will be scared to play us right now. And you even have to consider the fact that we didn't use many players, only the starting 11. Most of our players were not even in the squad. Your Felix, not in the squad. Pedro Neto, not in the squad. And despite that, we really delivered. And it is good to be a Chelsea fan right now. If you have not subscribed, this is the best time for you to subscribe. Yes, we are having a great period. Subscribe to a Chelsea fans channel. Join the community, hit the notification bell so that you can get the contents as soon as we upload them. Also, like this video, comment in the comment section. That is how we come together as a community to speak to ourselves. That's how we communicate. That's how we celebrate. That's how we talk about things that needs to be changed in Chelsea. Join the channel. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful week. I believe the next matches this Christmas period are going to be favorable for Chelsea. Let me know what you think also. Thank you very much, guys. Ciao.